A Night of Storm by Archibald Lampman. Our city, whom grey stormy hands have sown, with restless drift, scarce broken now if any, out of a dark where windows, dim and many, gleam red across the storm. Sound is where none, save evermore the fierce wind sweep and moan, from whose grey hands the keen white snow is shaken, and desperate gusts, but fitfully lull and raken, dense as night's darkness round with towers of stone. Darkling and strange art woe was vexed and chidden, more dark and strange by veiled agony, a city of storm, in whose grey heart are hidden what stormier hooves, what lives that groan and beat, stern and thin checked against time's heavier sleet, rude fates, hard hearts, and prisoning poverty.
A Prayer by Archibald Lampman. O earth, O dear mother, breathe on us something of all the beauty and the might, us that are part of day but most of night, not strong like we, but ever burdened was with glooms and cares, things pale and dolorous, whose gladdest moments are not wholly bright. Something of all the freshness and the light, O earth, O mighty mother, breathe on us. O mother, who wast long before our day, and after us full many an age should be. Careworn and blind, we wander from our way, born of thy strength, yet weak and halt are we. Grant us, O mother, wherefore us so pray, some little of thy light and majesty. A Reassurance by Archibald Lampman. Wherefore doubting eyes, O sparrow, thou regardest me, underneath yon spray of yarrow, dipping cautiously. Fear me not, O little sparrow, bath and never fear, for to me both pool and yarrow and thyself are dear. A Song by Archibald Lampman. O night and sleep, ye are so soft and deep. I am so weary, come ye soon to me. Our hours that creep, with so much time to weep. I am so tired, can ye no swifter be? Come night and near, and whisper in one ear what makes me so unhappy, full of care. Denied I die, for love that all men buy, with tears, now not, it is dark despair. Denied I pray, or is it what men say that love is sweet? It is not sweet to me. For one boy's sake a poor girl's heart must break, so sweet, so true, and yet it could not be. I loved well, such love as none can tell. I was so true, I could not make him know, for he was blind, or light and all unkind. Had he known, would he have hurt me so? O night and sleep, ye are so soft and deep. I am so weary, come ye soon to me. Our hours that creep, with so much time to weep. I am so tired, can ye no swifter be? A Thunderstorm by Archibald Lampman. O moment, the wild swallows like a flight over wet guest-caught leaves serenely high, toss on the windwreck up the muttering sky. The leaves hang still above a weird twilight, the hurrying centers of a storm unite, and spreading with huge trunk and rolling fringe, each wielded upon its own tremendous hinge, tower darkening on. And now from heaven's height, with a long roar of elm trees swept and swayed, and pelted waters on the vanished plain plunged the blast. Behind the wild white flash that splits abroad the pealing thunder crash, over bleared fields and gardens disarrayed, column on column comes the drenching rain. After Rain by Archibald Lampman. For 3 whole days across the sky, and sullen peaks that loomed and broke, with flying fringes dim as smoke, the columns of the rain went by, and every hour the wind awoke. The darkness passed upon the plain, the great drops rattled at the pane. Now piped the wind, or far aloft, fell to sod remote and dull, and all night long with rush and lull, the rain kept drumming on the roof. I heard till ear and sense were full the clash of silence of the leaves, the gurgle and the creaking eaves. And when the 4th day came, at noon, the darkness and rain were by, the sunward roofs were streaming dry, and all the world was flecked and strewn with shadows from a fleecy sky. The haymakers were forth and gone, and every rillet laughed and shone. When too on me that laughed so well, the world despairing in a blight, uplifted with a least delight on me, as on the earth there fell new happiness of mirth and might. I stirred a valley's height, and still I climbed upon the breezy hill. I watched a grey hawk wheel and drop, sole shadow on the shining world. I saw the mountains clothed and curled, the forest rattling to the top. I saw the river's length unfurled, pale silver down the fruited plain, grown great and stately with the rain. For miles of shadow and soft heat, field and fallow, fence and tree, were all one world of greenery. I heard a robin ringing sweet, a sparrow piping silverly, the thrushes at the forest hem, and as the wind I sang with one. An Autumn Landscape by Archibald Lampman. No wind waves that either pipes or moans, the fields are cold and still, the sky is covered with a blue-grey sheet of motionless cloud, and at my feet a river curling softly by whispers and dimples around its quiet grey stones. Along the chill green slope it dips and heaves, the road runs rough and silent, lined with plum trees misty and blue-grey, and poplars pallid as the day, and masses spectral, undefined, where greenish steams have hid in dry grey leaves. And on beside the river's sober edge a long fresh field lies black. Beyond low thickets grey and reddish stand, struck wide with birch, and near at hand, over a little steel-smooth pond, hang multitudes of thin and withering sedge. Across the waste and solitary rise, a ploughman urges his dull team, a stopped grey figure with prone brow, but plunges bending to the plough with strong, uneven steps. The stream rings and re-echoes with his furious cries. Sometimes the lowing of a cow, long drawn, comes from far off, and crows and strings pass on the upper silence. A flock of small grey goldfinches, flown down with silvery twitterings, rustle among the birch cans and are gone. The stavy season seems like one that heeds fixed ear and lifted hand. All moods that yet are known on earth, emotions that have fainted birth, if hardly she may understand the utmost inward sense of all her deeds. An Impression by Archibald Lampman. Out the city timbrels call, far off and hollow towers, and one by one with measured fall, and one by one with measured fall, count out the old dead hours. I felt the march, the silent press of time, and held my breath. I saw the haggard dreadfulness of dim old age and death. An October Sunset by Archibald Lampman. One moment the slim cloud flakes seemed lean with their sad sunward faces o'errolled, and longing lips set downward brightening to take the last sweet hand-kiss of a king, gone down beyond the closing western cold, paying no reference to the slender green, where like a curved olive leaf of gold hangs low in heaven, rounded towards sun, or small stairs, when one unfolded on the grey border of the night begun. An old lesson from the fields by Archibald Lampman. Even as I watched the daylight how it sped from noon to leaf, and saw the light wind pass in long pale waves across the flashing grass, I heard from my dreams wherever led the thin cicada singing overhead. I felt what joyance all this nature has, and saw myself made clear as in a glass, how what my soul was for the most part dead. All light I cried, and heaven with all your blue, earth with all your sunny fruitfulness, knit whole lilies of a wind-waxed field, what power and beauty life indeed might yield, would we but cast away its conscious stress, simple of heart, becoming even as you. April in the Hills by Archibald Lampman. Today the world is wide and fair, with sunny fields of lucid air, and waters dancing everywhere. The snow is almost gone, and noon is builded high with light, though the heaven's liquid height and steady fleet serene and wide, the heavy clouds go on. Her channels run, the bare earth steams, and every hollow rings and gleams with jetting fords and dashing streams. Rivers burst and fill, the fields are full of little lakes, and the romping wind awakes, water ruffles blue and shakes, the pines roar on the hill. The crows go by a noisy throng, but the meadows all day long. The shorelark drops his brittle song, and up the leafless tree the nut hedge runs, and nods and clinch. The bluebird dips the flashing wings, the robin flutes, the sparrow sings, and the swallows float and flee. I break with spirits cloudy bands, a wonder in enchanted lands. I leave the sun upon my hands, and far from care and strife, broad earth bids me forth. I rise with lifted brow and upward eyes, above my spirit in blue skies, and taste the springs of life. I feel the tumult of new birth, awakening earth, amid the bluebird in a mirth, and wild with wind and sun, a treasure of immortal days, whereon the glorious world with praise, the hillsides and woodland waste, till earth and I are one. April Night by Archibald Lampman. How deep the April is in its noon, the hopeful, solemn, many-murmured night. The earth lies hushed with expectation, bright above the world's dark border burns the moon. Yellow and large, her forest floorways strewn, the flowers and fields are tingled with new birth. The moist smells of the unimprisoned earth comes up, a sigh, a haunting promise. Soon I soothe the teeming triumph, and my feet in river with its stately sweep and wheel moves on slow-motioned, luminous, grey like steel. From fields far off, whose watery hollows gleam, I with bloom throats that make the long hours sweet, the sleepless toads are murmuring in their dream. Aspiration by Archibald Lampman. What deep-eyed brothers, was there ever here, or is there now, or shall there sometime be, harbour or any rest for such as we, lone fin-cheeked marinas, where they might steer, or whispering barks of such keen hope and fear, who would misty borne us across that coastless sea? Whose winds are songs that ever gust and flee, whose snows are dreams that however but come not near. Yet if perchance for all the flesh and mind, of many ills remarked with many a trace, shall find this life more sweet, more strangely kind, and they of that dim-hearted earthly race, or creep firm-nailed upon the earth's hard face, and hear nor see not, being deaf and blind. Autumn Maples by Archibald Lampman. The thoughts of all the maples who shall name, and the sad landscape turns to cold and grey, Yet some for very ruth and sheer dismay, hearing the northern pipe of winter's name, affight the hills with becooning clouds of flame. And some with softer woe day by day, so sweet and brief should go the westward way, have yearned upon the sunset with such shame, and their cheeks have turned to tremulous rose. Others for wrath have turned a rusty red, and some that knew not ever grief or dread, where the old year should find its iron close, have given down the sun's last smiles a cold, deep, deep into their luminous hearts of gold. Ballad of Summer Sleep by Archibald Lampman. Sweet summer is gone, with later away, the last sad hours that are touched with a grace, are hushed where the ghosts of the dead flowers play. Of sleep that is sweet of slumbering space, and not a sight or a sound erase of the woe that have fallen on all the lands. Gather your dreams to a sunny face, shadow your hair with your golden hands. The woods with their golden and red for a day, girdle the hills in a jeweled case, like a girl's strange mirth, her quick death slay your beautiful life with the heaven chase. Darker and darker the shadows pace, out of the north to the southern sands, ushers being the winter's maze, keeping the way with woven hands. The yellow light lies on the wide wastes grey, more bitter and cold than the winds that race from skirts of the autumn, tearing away this way but away a woodland lace, and the autumn's cheek is a hectic trace. Behind her the ghost of the winter stands, sweet summer will moan in a soft grey place, and mantle her head with your glowing hands. Till the slayer be slain, the spring displace the might of his arms with rose-crowned bands, let her heart not gather a dream but his base, shed her hair with her golden hands. By an autumn stream, by Archibald Lampman. Now overhead a rivulet loiters and stops, the bitter-sweet hangs on the tops, the elders and cherries, its bunches of beautiful berries, orange and red. Now snowbirds flee, tossing up on the far-brown field, now flashing and now concealed, like fringes of spray that vanish and gleam on the grey field of the sea. Flickering light comes the last of the leaves downborne, and patches of pale white corn in the wind complain, like the slow rustle of rain noticed by night. Withered and thinned, a sentinel mullein looms, with the pale grey shadowy plums of the golden rod. The milkweed opens its pod, tempting the wind. Aloft on the hill, a cloud with opens and shines, for a break in its gauntlet of pines, and dreams in my feet, a sad, silvery sheet, utterly still. All things that be seem plunged into silence, distraught, by some stern, some necessitous thought. It rubs and thrills, marsh, meadow forced, and falls also on me. Cloudbreak by Archibald Lampman. With a turn of his magical rod, that extended and suddenly shone, how around of his glory some god looks forth and is gone. To the summit of heaven the clouds are rolling aloft like steam, as they break in the infinite shrouds, and below the gleam. A drift of a river a whiff comes out from the blossoming shore. The meadows are greening as if they never were green before. The islands are kindled with gold, and russet and emerald dye. The into the waters outrolled are more blue than the sky. From my feet to the heart of the hills the spirits of May intervene, and a vapour of azure distills like a breath from the opal green. Only a moment, and then the chill the shadow decline. The eyes of the truant man are wide and divine. Comfort by Archibald Lampman. Comfort the sorrowful with watchful eyes and silence, for the tongue cannot avail. Wax not his wounds with rhetoric, that is stale worn truths, but about maddening mockeries, to him whose grief outmasters all replies. Only watch near and gently, do but bring the piteous help of silent ministering, watchful and tender, this alone is wise. So shall thy presence and thine every motion, the grateful knowledge of thy sad devotion, melt out the passionate hardness of his grief, and break the floodgates of a pent-up soul. He shall bow down beneath thy mute control, and take thine hands, and weep and find relief. Deeds by Archibald Lampman. 'Tis well with words, O Master, ye have sought to turn men's yearning to the great and true. At first take heed to what your own hands do. By deeds, not words, the souls of men are taught. For lives alone are fruitful, they are caught into the fountain of all life, where through men's souls the drink are broken or made new, like drops of heavenly elixir fraught with the clear essence of eternal youth. Even one little deed of weak untruth is like a drop of quenchless venom cast, a little retreat into life's feeding stream, woven forever with its crystal gleam, being the seed of death and woe at last. Despondency by Archibald Lampman. Slow figures in some life remorseless freeze, the approaching days escapeless and unguessed, with mask and shroud impenetrable dressed. Time whose inexorable destinies peer down upon us like impending seas, and the huge presence of his world, at best a sightless giant wandering without rest, aged and mad with many miseries. The weight and measure of these things who knows? resting at times beside life's ford-swept stream, sobered and stunned with unexpected blows. We scarcely hear the uproar. Life doth seem safe with a certain nearness of its woes, vain and phantasmal as a sick man's dream. Distance, by Archibald Lampman. To the distance, other distance, blue and broad and dim, peace is not in bird or meadow, but beyond the rim. I beyond it, far beyond it, follow still my soul, till this earth is lost in heaven, and the fields to the whole. Evening, by Archibald Lampman. From upland slopes I see the coast fill by, lowering great-chested down the homeward trail, basking fields and meadows shining pale with moon-tipped dandelions. Flickering high, a peevish nighthawk in the western sky beats up into the illusioned solitudes, or drops with cringing wing. The stilly woods grow dark and deep, and gloom mysteriously. Cool night winds creep and whisper in mine ear, the homely cricket gossips at my feet. Far off pools and wastes of reeds I hear, clear and soft pipe, the chanting frogs break sweet in full pant and chorus. One by one shine out the stars, the great night comes on. Forest moods, by Archibald Lampman. Their singing of birds in the deep wet woods, in the heart of the listening solitudes, pewless and thrushes and sparrows, not few, and all the notes of their throats are true. The thrush from the innermost ash takes on a tender dream of a treasured and gone, while the sparrows singeth with pride and cheer of the might and light of the present and here. The shining of flows in the deep wet woods, the heart of sensitive solitudes, the roseate bell and the lily are bare, they believe with the sheaf is fair. Careless and bold with her dream of woe, petroleum scattered the flag snow, and her pale wood the folly covers her face, gloom with the doom of a sorrowful race. Gentleness, by Archibald Lampman. Blind multitudes that jar confusedly at strife, birth's children will ye never rest, or toils made hateful here, and dawns distressed, with revelling self-engendered misery. And will ye never know, till sleep shall see your graves, how dreadful and how dark indeed are pride, self-will, and blind-voiced anger, greeted malice with its subtle cruelty? How beautiful is gentleness, whose face like April sunshine, of a summer rain swells everywhere the buds of generous thought. So easy and so sweet it is, its grace smooths out so soon the tangled knots of pain. Can ye not learn it? Will ye not be taught? Godspeed to the snow, by Archibald Lampman. March is slain, the keen winds fly, nothing more is mine to do. April kisses thee goodbye, I must haste and follow too. Silent friend that guarded well good things to make us glad, shyest friend that could not tell half a kindly thought he had. Haste we, speed we, O kind snow, down the dipping valleys go, for fields and gleaming meadows, with slaying owls behold we, for a forest whose slim shadows brown and leafless cannot fold we, with the cedar lands aflame, with gold-lighted cleaves and quivers, songs that winter may not tame, drones of pines and love of rivers. May the passing joys be to the father, the great sea, for the sun is getting stronger, if of need of we no longer, O kind snow, Godspeed do we. Good speech, by Archibald Lampman. Think not, because thine inmost heart means well, thou hast the freedom through speech. Sweet words are like the voices of returning birds, filling the soul with summer, or a bell that calls the weary and the sick to prayer. Even as thy thought, so let thy speech be fair. In March, by Archibald Lampman. The sun falls warm, the southern winds awake, the air seetheth upward with a steamy shiver. Each dip of a road is now a crystal lake, and every rut a little dancing river. The great soft clouds that thunder overhead, the deep sky breaks as pearly blue as summer. Out of a cleft beside the river's bed flaps the black crow, the first demure newcomer. The last cirrus drifts are eating fast away with glassy tinkle and glittering laces. Dogs lie asleep, and little children play with tops and marbles in the sun their places. And I would stroll with many a thoughtful pause, almost forget that winter ever was. In May, by Archibald Lampman. Grief was my master yesternight, tomorrow am I grief again. But now along the windy plain the clouds have taken flight. The zowers in the forest go, the lusty river brimeth on, the curtains of the hills are gone, the leaves are out and low. The silvery distance of the day, the light horizons, between the glory of perfect green, the tumult of May. The woodlings at noon they sing more softly on the softest flute, and lighter than the lightest lute the fairy tambours ring. Roads far off are towered with dust, the cherry blooms are swept and thinned. In yonder swaying elms the wind is charging gust on gust. But here there is no stir at all. The ministers of sun and shadow haunt of the perfumes of a meadow behind a grassy wall. An influent rivulet wind-free adown the garden hollow sets, over whose brink the violets are nodding peacefully. From pool to pool it prattles by, the flashing swallows dip and pass, above the tough marsh grass, and here at rest am I. I cannot for the old distress with the more bid me moan. Today is mine, I have known an hour of blessedness. In October, by Archibald Lampman, along the waste a great way of the pines, like toilsome priests of storm, stand up and bar the low long strip of dolors red that lines the underwest. The woodwinds moan afar, the cornfields all are brown, and brown the meadows, with her blown leaves wind-heaped traceries, and the brown thistle steams that cast no shadows and be no bloom for bees. As slowly earthward leaf by red leaf slips, the sad trees a rustle and chill misery, a soft strange inner sound of pain-crazed lips that move and murmur incoherently, as if all leaves that yet have breath were sighing with pale hushed throats that ever said the door, so many low soft masses for the dying, sweet leaves that life no more. Here I will sit upon this naked stone, draw my coat closer with my numbed hands, and hear the ferns sigh and the redwoods moan, and set my heart out to the ashen lands. And I will ask myself what golden madness, what balm breaths of dreamland spicery, what visions of soft laughter and light sadness, the sweet last month to me. The dry dead leaves flit by with thin weird tunes, like falling murmurs of some conquered creed, graven mystic markings with strange ruins that none but stars and biting winds may read. Here I will wait a little. I am weary, not torn with pain of any lurid hue, but only still in very grey and dreary, sweet sombre lands like you. Knowledge, by Archibald Lampman. What is more large than knowledge and more sweet? Knowledge of thoughts and deeds, of rights and wrongs, of passions and of beauties and of songs. Knowledge of life, to feel its great heart beat, for all the soul upon a crystal seat, to see, to feel, and evermore to know. To till the old world's wisdom till it grow, a garden for the wandering of our feet. Or for a life of leisure and broad hours, to think and dream, to put away small things, with world's perpetual leaguer of dull knots. To wander like the bee among the flowers till old age find us weary, feet and wings grown heavy with the gold of many thoughts. Lament of the Winds, by Archibald Lampman. We in sore coldly witting, in the bleak world sitting, where foes near the mould, hear the summer calling, with the dead leaves falling, with the life grew faint and old. And we took her up and bore her, with the leaves that moaned before her, to the holy forest bowers, where trees were dense and serried, and their corpses were buried in the graveyard of the flowers. Now the leaves, as death grows faster, yellowing deeper, dropping faster, all the grave wherein she lies, with her bodies cover, with her heart that laugh her, for they live not when she dies. And we left her so, but stay not of our tears, and yet remain not, or they coldly, thickly fall, give the dead leaves any, for they lie so many, and they cannot weep for all. Life and Nature, by Archibald Lampman. I passed through the gates of a city, the streets were strange and still, through the doors of the open churches, the organs were mourning shrill. Through the doors and the great high windows I heard the murmur of prayer, the sound of a solemn singing streamed out on the sunlit air. A sound of some great burden that lay on the world's dark breast, the old and the sick and the lonely and the weary that cried for rest. I strayed through the midst of the city like one distracted or mad. O life, I kept saying, and the very words seemed sad. I passed through the gates of the city and I heard a small bird sing, laid me down in the meadows, far from the bell ringing. In the depth and the bloom of the meadows I lay on the earth's quiet breast, the poplar fanned me with shadows, and the very sang me to rest. Blue was the heaven above me, and the earth green at my feet. O life, I kept saying, and the very words seemed sweet. Love Doped, by Archibald Lampman. Yearning upon the faint rose crest that flit above a child's sweet mouth and innocent cheek, and her eyes watching with eyes all meek the light and shadow of lover, I would sit mute, knowing our two souls might never knit, as if a pale proud lily flower should seek the love of some red rose, and I could not speak one word of a bliss tongue to tell of it. For my love was sunny-lipped and stirred, was with light and sound and gloom not long retained. I with dreams waited, and ever heard sad birds echoing through the loudest throng, she, the wild song of some merry bird, I heard the listening maker of a song. Love Wonder, by Archibald Lampman. Or whether sad or joyous be her hours, yet ever is she good and ever fair. If she be glad, it is like a child's wild air, or claps her hands above a heap of flowers. If she is sad, there is no cloud that lowers, or rather a saint's pale grace, whose golden hair gleams like a crown, whose eyes are like a prayer, with a quiet window under minster towers. But I beloved, how shall I be taught to tell this truth in any rhymed line? For words and woven phrases fall to naught, lost in the silence of one dream divine, wrapped in the beating wonder of his thought, even though, who art so precious, who art mine. March, by Archibald Lampman. Over dripping roofs and sunk snow barrows, where bells are ringing loud and strangely near, a shout of children dins upon mine ear, shrilly, and like a flight of silvery arrows, showers the sweet gossip of a British sparrows, gathering in noisy notes of one or two, to joke and chatter, just as mortals do, of a day's long tale of joys and sorrows. Talk before bedtime of bold deeds together, of thefts and fights, of hard times and the weather, till sleep disarm them, to each little brain bringing tucked wings and many a blissful dream, visions of wind and sun, of fields and stream, and busy barnyards for scattered grain. Midnight, by Archibald Lampman. From where sit the silver stars, and on the chilly floor the moon between the frozen bars is glimmering dim and hoar. About a many a peaked mound the glinting snowdrifts lie, where's no voice or living sound the embers slowly die. Yet some wild thing is in mine ear, I hold my breath and hark. Out of the depth I seem to hear crying in the dark. No sound of man or wife or child, no sound of beast with groans, or for windward whistles wild, or for tree that moans. I know not what it is I hear, at my head and hark. I cannot drive it from mine ear, the crying in the dark.
Midsummer Night by Archibald Lampman. Mother of balms and soothing manifold, cried bereaved night, whose brooding hours are 7, to whom the voices of all rest are given, and those few stars whose scattered names are told. Far off beyond the westward hills outrolled, darker than thou, more still, more dreamy even, the golden moon leans in the dusky heaven, and under her one star, a point of gold. And all go slowly lingering toward the west, as we go down forgetfully to our rest. Weary of daytime, tired of noise and light, it was time that thou shouldst come, for we were sore afearsed, and had great need of thee, O sweet physician, balmly bosomed night.
Music, by Archibald Lampman. Move on, light hands so strongly tenderly, now of dropping calm and yearning under song, now swift and loud, tumultuously strong, and I in darkness sitting near to thee, shall only hear and feel, but shall not see, one hour made passionately bright with dreams, hear glimpses of life's splendor, dashing gleams, of what we would and what we cannot be. Surely not painful ever, yet not glad, shall such hours be to me, but blindly sweet, full yearning and olfacted strife, dreams that shine by with unremembered feet, and tongues that like far distance make this life spectral and wonderful and strangely sad. New Year's Eve, by Archibald Lampman. Once on the year's last eve, in my mind's might, sitting in dreams, not sad, nor quiet Elysian, balancing out twixt wonder and derision, before my body and all the world took flight, and vanished from me as a dream outright. Leaning out was in sudden strange decision, I saw as it were in the fashion of a vision, far down between the tall towers of the night, borne yet great winds in awful unison, the teeming masses of mankind sweep by, even as a glittering river with deep sound and innumerable banners, rolling on over the starry border glooms that bound, the last grey space and dim eternity. And all its strange, unearthly multitude seemed twisted in vast, seething companies, and evermore with hoarse and terrible cries and desperate encounter and mad fight plunged onward, each in its implacable mood, borne down over trampless sundries of other fates and other fantasies, each following furiously and each pursued. Thus sped her on with tumult vast and grim, whatever meseemed beyond them I could see, wild hallowed groups that sought perpetually the figure of one crowned and sacrificed. And faint, far forward, floating tall and dim, the banner of our Lord and Master Christ. One day, by Archibald Lampman. A trees rustle, the wind blows merrily out of the town. Our shadows creep, the sun goes steadily over and down. In brown gloom the motes gleam, slender the sweet wife stands. Her lips are red, her eyes dream, kisses are warm on her hands. The child moans, the hours slip bitterly over her head. In the grey dusk the tears drip, mothers up their dead. The hermit hears the strange bright murmur of life at play. In the vast day and the vast night, times to rebel and to pray. The brewer toils in grey wise, godlike and patient and calm. The beggar moans, his bleared eyes measure the dust in his palm. The wise man marks the flow and ebb, hidden and held aloof. In his deep mind is laid the web, shuttles are driving the woof. Outlook, by Archibald Lampman. Not to be conquered by these headlong days, but to stand free, to keep the mind and brood on life's deep meaning, nature's altitude of loveliness, and time's mysterious ways. At every thought and deed to clear the haze out of our eyes, considering only this, what man, what life, what love, what beauty is, this is to live and win the final praise. Or strife, ill fortune, and harsh human need, beat down the soul, at moments blind and dumb with agony, yet patience where shall come, many great voices from life's outer sea, hours of strange triumph, and when few men heed, murmurs and glimpses of eternity. Passion, by Archibald Lampman. As the weed beneath the ocean, as the pool beneath the tree, answers with each breath or motion an imperious mastery. So my spirit swift with passion finds in every look a sign, catching in some wondrous fashion every mood that governs mine. In a moment it will bow, flashing in a gusty train, love and desire and sorrow, anger and delight and pain.
Perfect Love by Archibald Lampman. Beloved, woes who moan of love's brief day shall find but little grace with me. I guess who know too well this passion's tenderness to deem that I shall lightly pass away a moment's interlude in life's dull play. For many loves how lingered to distress, so shall not ours, sweet lady, nevertheless, but deepen with us till both heads be grey. For perfect love is like a fair green plant, that fades not with its blossoms, but lives on, and gently lovers shall not come to want, or fancy with its first mad dream be gone. Sweet is the flower whose radiant glory flies, but sweeter still the green that never dies.
Personality by Archibald Lampman. A different human heart. Why is it that I tremble when one eyes, where human eyes and beautiful human speech draw me and stir within my soul that subtle, ineradicable longing for tender comradeship? It is because I cannot all at once, through the half-lights and phantom-haunted mists that separate and enshroud us life from life, discern the nearness of the strangers of the paths, nor plumb the depths. I am like one that comes alone at night to a strange stream, and by an unknown thought stands, and for a moment yearns and shrinks, beyond ignorant of the water, for so quiet it is, so softly murmurous, so silvery by the familiar moon. Sight by Archibald Lampman. The world is bright with beauty, and its days are filled with music. Could we only know true ends from faults, and lofty things from low. Could we but tear away the walls that grace our heavy elbows and life's frosty ways, behold the width beyond us with its flow, its knowledge and its murmur and its glow, but hope itself is but a golden haze. Rather still upon our path there lies a shadow of dim weariness and fear, and if we could but lift our earthward eyes to see, and open all our dull ears to hear, when should we wonder this world drew near, and life's innumerable harmonies. Sleep by Archibald Lampman. If any man with sleepless care oppressed, or many a night had risen and addressed his hand to make him out of joy and moan an image of sweet sleep and graven stone, light touch by touch, and very moments planned, he would have wrought her with a patient hand, not like a brother death, with massive limb and dreamless brow, unstartled, changeless, dim, but very fair, more fitful and afraid, more sweet and slight than any mortal maid. Her hair he would have craved the mantle smooth, down to her tender feet the ribbons soothe with fevers in, a barbed her and bare, with many hidden sting of restless care, a brow most quiet, thick with opiate rest, yet watchful lined, as if some hovering guest of noiseless doubt beware. So to her eyes his light hand would have carved in cunning wise, brought with a languor of a drowsy south. Most beautiful, but at askance, her mouth more soft and round than any rose half spread, yet ever twisted with some nervous dread. It would have made her with one marble foot, shrill as a snow-white feather, forward put, being sweet medicine to all distress, smooth for languor and unstrung forgetfulness. The other held a little bag for dread, one slender moonbeam hand held forth to shed soft slumber dripping from its pearly tip into white eyes, the other on her lip, sign of the watches of a sleepless care the cunning artist would have wrought her fair, shy goddess, at keen seeking most afraid, yet often coming when we least have prayed. Snow by Archibald Lampman. Wide are the far-off plains, and wide the fading forests grow. The wind dies out along the hedge, and denser still the snow, gathering weight on roof and tree, falls down, skag audibly. A road before me smooths and fills apace, and all about the fences dwindle, and the hills are blotted slowly out. The naked trees loom spectrally into the dim white sky. The meadows and far-shaded streams lie still without a sound, like some soft minster of dreams, the snowfall hoods me round. In wood and water, earth and air, is silence everywhere, save when at lonely intervals some farmer's slate, urged on with rustling runners and sharp bells, swings by me and is gone. From the empty waste I hear a sound remote and clear, the barking of a dog or call to cattle sharply pealed, one echoing from some wayside stall or barnyard for a field. When all is silent and the snow falls, setting soft and slow, the evening deepens and the grey folds close the earth and sky. The world seems shrouded far away, its noises sleep, and I, as secret as yon buried stream, plod dumbly on and dream. Snowbirds by Archibald Lampman. Along the narrow sandy height I watch them swiftly come and go, or round the leafless wood, like flurries of wind-driven snow, revolving in perpetual flight, a changing multitude. Near, near, still they sway, and scattering in a circle sweep, rush down without a sound. Now I see them peer and peep across yon level bleak and grey, searching the frozen ground, until a little wind upheaves and makes a sudden rustling there, and then they drop their play, flash up into the sunless air, and like a flight of silver leaves swirl round and sweep away. Solitude by Archibald Lampman. How still it is here in the woods, the trees stand motionless, as if they did not dare to stir, lest it should break the spell. The air hangs quiet as spaces in a marble frieze. Even this little brook that runs at ease, whispering and gurgling in its knotted bed, seems but to deepen with its curling thread of sound the shadowy sun-pierced silences. Sometimes a hawk screams or a woodpecker startles the stillness from its fixed mood with his loud careless tap. Sometimes I hear the dreamy white-throat from some far-off tree pipe slowly on the listening solitude, his 5 pure notes succeeding pensively. Song by Archibald Lampman. Songs that could span the earth when leaping thought had stirred them. Many an hour since birth we heard or dreamed we heard them. Sometimes to all west way we yield ourselves for fearing. Sometimes with hearts grow grey we curse ourselves for hearing. We toil and but begin, and when our spirits fret them, we strive and cannot win, nevermore forget them. A light will not stand if it comes and goes and flashes, their fruits that in the hand will turn to dust and ashes. Yet still the deep thoughts ring around and through us, sweet mites that make us sing, that bring no resting to us. Song of the Stream Drops by Archibald Lampman. By silent forest and a field and mossy stone, we come from a wooded hill, we go to the sea. We labor and sing sweet songs, but we never mourn, for mother the sea is calling us cheerily. You've heard her callings as many and many a day over cool grey stones and the white sands far away. The way is long and winding and slows the trick. The sharp rocks fret us, the eddies bring us delay, but we sing sweet songs to our mother and answer her back. Gladly we answer our mother, sweetly repay. Oh, we hear her singing wherever we roam, far, far away in the silence, calling us home. Poor mortal, your eyes are dull and you cannot hear, but we hear her, the breast of our mother beat. Low, far away, sweet and solemn and clear, under the hush of the night, under the noontide heat, and we sing sweet songs to our mother, for so we shall please her best, songs of beauty and peace, freedom and infinite rest. We sing and sing through the grass and the stones and the reeds, and we never got tired, for we journey ever and aye, dreaming and dreaming, over the long way leads, of the far cool rocks and the rush of the wind and the spray. And of the sun and the stars we murmur and dance and are free, and we dream of our mother, the width of the sheltering sea. Spring on the River by Archibald Lampman. O sun, shine hot on the river, for the ice is turning in ashen hue, and the still bright water is looking through, and the myriad streams are greeting you with the ballad of life to the giver. From forest and field and sunny town, meeting and running and tripping down with laughter and song to the river. Of a din on the boats by the river, the barges are ringing while day avails, the sound of hewing and hammering nails, planning and painting and swinging pails, all day in the shrill endeavour. The waters brim over the wintry cup, and the cringing ice is breaking up, and we must away down the river. Of a hum and the toil of the river, urge of the rapid sprays and skips, loud and low by the water's lips, tearing with pines into strips, the sawmill is moaning ever. The little grey sparrow skips and calls on the rocks and the rain of the waterfalls, and the logs are adrift in the river. A western sea whirls the river, the rivulets run and the cataract drowns. The spiders are flitting over the stones, summer winds float and the cedar moans, the eddies gleam and quiver. The sunshine hot, shine long and abide, in the glory and power of a summer tide, on the swift longing face of the river. Sunset by Archibald Lampman. From this windy bridge at rest, in some former curious hour, we watch the city's hue, all along the orange west, cupola and pointed tower, darken into solid blue. Over biting northern breaks full across this drifting hold, they stand with iced cheeks, watching westward as of old. Past the violet mountain heat to the farthest fringe of pine, the far of a purple red narrows to a dusky line, and the last pale splendors die slowly from the olive sky, till the thin clouds whirl away and the threads of purple grey, and the sudden stars between brighten and the pallid green, till both the spacious east slowly turn one by one, like pale prisoners released from the dungeons of the sun, Capella and the train appear in the glittering charioteer. The rounded moon shall grow great above eastern snow shining to burnished gold, and the silver earth outrolled in the misty yellow light shall take on the width of night. The autumn waste by Archibald Lampman. There is no break in all the wide grey sky, nor light on any field, and the wind grievous and talks of death. The cold grey waters lie, round grey stones, and the new fallen leaves heap the chill hollows of the naked woods. The lisping moan, an inarticulate cry, creeps far among the Chanel solitudes, numbing the waste with mindless misery. and these sparse paths, these melancholy lands, what dream of flesh could ever have been young? What lovers have gone forth with linked hands? What flowers could ever have bloomed? What birds have sung? Life, hopes, and human things seem wrapped away with shrouds and spectres in one long essay. The Better Day by Archibald Lampman. Harsh thoughts, blind angers, and fierce hands that keep this restless world at strife, mean passions that, like choking sands, perplex the stream of life. Pride and hot envy and cold greed, the cankers of a loftier will, what if you triumph and yet bleed? Or can ye not be still? Oh, shall there be no space, no time, no century of wheel and store, no freehold in a nobler clime, where man should strive no more? Where every motion of a heart shall serve a spirit's master call, where self shall be the unseen part of human kindness all? Or shall we but be fits and gleams, sing satisfied, and cease to rave, find love but in the rest of dreams, and peace but in the grave? The Bird and the Hour by Archibald Lampman. The sun looks over a little hill and floods the valley with gold, a torrent of gold. The hither field is green and still. Beyond, the cloud outrolled is glowing molten and bright. And soon the hill and the valley and all the quiet fall shall be gathered into the night. Yet a moment more out of the silent wood, as if from the closing door of another world and another lovelier mood, hears for the hermit pool, so sweet, so magical, his golden music ghostly beautiful. The Clear Self by Archibald Lampman. Before me grew the human soul, and after I am dead and gone, for grades of effort and control, the marvelous work shall still go on. Each mortal in his little span have only lived, if he have shown what greatness there can be in man above the measured and the known. How through the ancient layers of night, in gradual victory secure, cross ever with increasing light, the energy serene and pure. The soul that from a monstrous past, from age to age, from hour to hour, fits upward to some height at last of unimagined grace and power. For yet the sacred fire be dull, and thoughts of forthing matter furled, and death be nigh, where life is full, O master spirit of the world, grant me to know, to seek, to find, in some small measure, though it be emerging from the waste and blind, the clear self will grant me. The Coming of Winter by Archibald Lampman. Out of the northland sombre weirds are calling, a shadow falleth southward day by day, since summer's arms grow cold, his fire is falling, his feet draw back to give a stern one way. It is the voice and shadow of Slayer, slayer of loves, sweet world, slayer of dreams. Make sad the voice to sober plaint and prayer, make grey the woods and darken all their streams. Black grows the river, blacker drifts the eddy, the sky is grey, the woods are cold below. Or make their bosom and their sad lips ready for cold kisses of the folding snow. The Dog by Archibald Lampman. Grotesque, he said, the moment we espied him, the way he stood, supreme in his conceit, the short ears close together and queer feet planted irregularly. First we tried him with jokes, but we were lost. We then defied him with bantering questions and loose criticism. He did not like, I'm sure, chattism, but whisked and snuffed a little as we ate him. Then flung we balls and out and clear away, up the white slope, across the crusted snow, to where a broken fence stands in the way. Against the skyline, a mere row of pecks, quicker than thought we saw him flash and go, straight, mad scuttling, or four crooked legs. The Moon Path by Archibald Lampman. The full clear moon uprose and spread a cold pale splendor over the sea, a light-strewn path that seemed to lead outward into eternity. Between the darkness and the gleam an outward spell encompassed me. Methought that in a godlike dream I trod upon the sea, and lo upon the glimmering road in shining companies unfurled, the trains of many a primal god, the monster of the elder world. Strange creatures that with silver wings scarce touched the ocean's thronging floor, phantoms of old tales, and things whose shapes are known no more. Giants and demigods who once were dwellers of the earth and sea, and where from the Colleon stones rose man without an infancy. Beings on whose majestic lids time's solemn secrets seem to dwell, tritons and pale-limbed nereids, and forms of heaven and hell. Some who were heroes long of yore, and the great world was hale and young, and some whose marble lips yet pour the murmur of an antique tongue. Sad queens whose names are like soft moans, whose griefs were written up in gold, and some who on their silver thrones were goddesses of old. As if they had been dead indeed, and come into some afterland, I saw them pass me, and take heed, and touch me with each mighty hand, and evermore a murmurous dream, so beautiful they seemed to me, not less than in the godlike dream I trod the shining sea. The Mystery of a Year by Archibald Lampman. A little while a year agone I knew her for a romping child, a dimple in the glance that shone with idle mischief when she smiled. But as she passed me in the press, and turning with a quick surprise, I wondered at her stateliness, I wondered at her altered eyes. The mere street was just the same, the people in the city stir, but life had kindled into flame and all the world was changed for her. I watched her in the crowded ways, a noble form, a queenly head, full of woman in her gaze, a conscious woman in her tread. The Poet's Possession by Archibald Lampman. Think not, O master, of a well-tilled field, serve as only wine, for after thee, when all is sown and gathered and put by, comes a grave poet, a creative eye, and from these silent acres and clean plots, bids with his wand the fancied after yield, a second tilth and second harvest, with a crop of images and curious thoughts. The Poets by Archibald Lampman. Half god, half brute, in the self-same shell, changes with every hour from dawn till eve, who dream with angels in the gate of heaven, and skirt with curious eyes the brinks of hell, children of Pan, whom some the few love well, but most drew back, and know not what to say, poor shining angels, whom the hoofs betray, whose pinions frighten with their gaudish smell. Half brutish, half divine, but all of earth, halfway twixt hell and heaven, near to man, the whole world's tangle gathered in one span, full of this human torture and this mirth. Life with its hope and error, toil and bliss, earth-born, earth-reared, ye know it as it is. The Railway Station by Archibald Lampman. The darkness brings no quiet here, the light no waking. Ever on my blinding brain the flare of lights, the rush and cry and strain, the engines scream, the hiss and thunder smite. I see the hurrying crowds, the clasp of fight, faces that touch, eyes that are dim with pain. I see the horse wheels turn in the great train, of the bowing out into the bournless night. So many souls within its dim recesses, so many bright, so many mournful eyes. Mine eyes that watch grow fixed with dreams and guesses, what threads of life, what hidden histories, what sweet or passionate dreams and dark distresses, what unknown thoughts, what wise agonies. The Return of the Year by Archibald Lampman. Again the warm bare earth, the noon that hangs upon her healing scars, the midnight round, the great red moon, the mother with a brood of stars, the mistral and the waking rain, blown soft and many a faust away, the yellowing elm trees, and again the blood-root in its sheaf of grey. The whisper sparrow's song, the stress of yearning notes that gush and stream, the lyric joy, the tenderness, and once again the dream, the dream. A touch of far of joy and power, as something it is life to learn, comes back to earth in one short hour, the glamours of the gods return. As life's old mood and cult of care falls smitten by an older truth, and the grey world wins back to her the rapture of a vanished youth. Dead thoughts revive, and he that heeds shall hear, as by spirit led, a song among the golden reeds. The gods are vanished, but not dead. For one short hour, unseen yet near, haunt us, forgotten mood, glory upon meat and myrrh, magic in the leafless wood. At morning we shall catch the glow of Dian's quiver on the hill, and somewhere in the glades I know the pan is at his piping still. The Song Sparrow by Archibald Lampman. Fair little scout, when the iron year changes, and the first fleecy clouds deploy, comes with such a sudden burst of joy, lifting on winter's doomed and broken rear, that song of silver trumpet blithe and clear. Not yet quite conscious of a happy glow, we hungered for some sure touch, and lo, one morning we awake, and void here. Thousands of frail-stemmed hepatises, with their crisp leaves and pure and perfect hues, light sleepers, ready for the golden news, spring of an oak beside the forest ways, next to the song, the first to deck the hour, the classic lyrist and the classic flower. The Sun Cup by Archibald Lampman. The earth is the cup of the sun, and he filleth at morning with wine, the warm, strong wine of his might, from a vintage of gold and of light, fills it and makes it divine. At night, when his journey is done, at the gate of his radiant hall, he setteth his lips to the brim, with a long last look of his eye, and lifts it and draineth it, drains till leaveth it all empty and hollow and dim. And when, as he passes to sleep, still full of the feats that he did, long ago in Olympian wars, he closes it down with a sweep of its slow-turning luminous lid, its cover of darkness and stars, where were once habitus of old, the violet and vastness of gold.
The Sweetness of Life by Archibald Lampman. It fell on a day I was happy, and the winds, the concave sky, the flowers and the beasts in the meadow seemed happy even as I. And I stretched my hands to the meadow, to the bird, the beast, the tree. Why are you all so happy? I cried, and they answered me. What say'st thou, O meadow, that stretched so wide, so far, that none can say how many the misty margaritas are? And what say ye, red roses, that over the sun-bleached wall from your high black shadow trellis like flame or blood drops fall? We are born, we are reared, and we linger a various space and die. We dream and are bright and happy, but we cannot answer why. What say'st thou, O shadow, that from the dreaming hill, or down the broadening valley, lies so sharp and still? And thou, O murmuring brooklet, whereby in the noonday gleam the loose strife burns like ruby, and the branched aster stream, we are born, we are rearer, and we linger a various space and die. We dream and are very happy, but we cannot answer why. And when of myself I questioned what like a ghost the while stood for me and calmly answered with slow and curious smile, Thou art born as the flowers and wilt linger within our short space and die. Thou dreamst and art strangely happy, but thou canst not answer why.
The truth, by Archibald Lampman, friend, for thy soul should burn thee, yet be still. Thoughts were not meant for strife, nor tongues for swords. He that sees clear is gentlest of his words, and it's not truth that hath a heart to kill. The whole world's forge shall not one truth fulfill. Dull in our age, and passionate in youth, no mind of man hath found the perfect truth, nor shalt thou find it, wherefore friend be still. Watch and be still, nor hearken to the fool, the babble of consciency and rule. Wise as is he, who never quite secure, changes his thoughts for better day by day. Tomorrow some new light will shine, be sure, and thou shalt see thy thought another way. To my daughter, by Archibald Lampman. A little one, daughter my dearest, with your smiles and your beautiful curls, and your laugh, brightest and clearest, or gravest and gayest of girls. With your hands that are softer than roses, and lips that are lighter than flowers, an innocent brow that discloses a wisdom more lovely than ours. With your locks that encumber or scatter in 1,000 mercurial gleams, and those feet whose impetuous patter a hern remember in dreams. With your manner of motherly duty, when you play with the dolls and are wise. With your wonders of speech and the beauty in your little imperious eyes. When I hear you so silverly ringing, your welcome from chamber or stair, when you run to me, kissing and clinching, so radiant, so rosily fair. I bend like an augur above you, I bury my face in your curls, I fold you, I clasp you, I love you, baby, queen blossom of girls. To my mother, by Archibald Lampman. Mother, to whose valiant will, battling long ago, of the heaping years fulfill light and song and oh, send my little book afield, fronting praise sublime, have a shining flag and shield of your name. To my wife, by Archibald Lampman. Of fancy and the might of rhyme, but turneth like the tide, have borne me many a musing time, beloved from thy sight. And yet I pray we deem not sweet whose hours were given in vain, and then these covers to thy feet I bring them back again. Unrest, by Archibald Lampman. All day upon the garden bright, the sun shines strong, when my heart wastes no light or any song. Voices of merry life go by adown the street, but I am weary of a cry and drift of feet. Of all your things that ought to please, we are so blessed, yet my soul is ill at ease and cannot rest. Strange spirit, leave me not too long, no stint to give, for if my soul have no sweet song I cannot live.
Voices of Earth, by Archibald Lampman. We have not heard the music of the spheres, the song of star to star, but where are sounds more deep than human joy and human tears, that nature uses in a common rounds. The fall of streams, the cry of winds that strain the oak, the roaring of a sea's surge, might of thunder breaking afar off, or rain that falls by minutes in the summer night. These are the voices of Earth's secret soul, uttering the mystery from which she came. To him who hears from grief beyond control, the joy inscrutable without a name, wakes in its heart's thoughts the depth there, impearled, before the birth and making of the world.
We too shall sleep, by Archibald Lampman. Not for we, beloved child, the burning grasp of life shall bruise the tender soul. The noise and strife and clamour of midday thou shalt not see, but wrapped forever in thy quiet grave, too little to have known the earthly lot. Time's clashing hosts above thine innocent head, wave upon wave shall break, or pass as with an army's tread, and harm thee not. A few short years, you of a living flesh and restless brain, shall plumb the deeps of life and overstrain. Fleeting gleams of joy, fruitless tears, and when at last, when all is touched and tried, our own immutable night shall fall, and deep in the same silent plot, our little friend, side by thy side, in peace that changeth not, nor now of end, we too shall sleep. What do poets want with gold? By Archibald Lampman. What do poets want with gold? Cringing slaves and cushioned ease, are not crusts and garments old, better for their souls than these? Gold is but a judgling rod of a false usurping god, graving long ago in hell, as on the stony spell, working in the world forever. It is not so strong to sever beaten human heart from heart. Soul from soul we shrink and part, and no longer hail each other with the ancient name of brother. Give a simple poet gold, and his song will die of cold. You must walk with man that real on the rugged path, and feel every sacred soul that is beating very near to his. simple human careless free, as God made him he must be. For the sweetest song of bird is the hidden tenor heard, and the dusk at even flush of forests in a hush of a simple hermit thrush. Or the poet's want of love, flowers that shiver out of hand, the fervid fruits that prove only bitter broken sand. Poets speak of passion best, and dreams are undistressed, and the sweetest songs are sung the inner heart is stung. Let them dream, 'tis better so, ever dream but never know. If a spirit once have drained all that goblet crimson stained, finding what a dream divine on earthly sluggish wine, sooner the warm lips pale and the flawless voices fail, sooner come the dropping wing and the after days that bring no such songs as did the spring. Why do you call the poet lonely? By Archibald Lampman. Do you call the poet lonely because the dreams in lonely places he is not desolate, but only sees where ye cannot hidden faces? Winter Break by Archibald Lampman. All day between high-curtained clouds the sun shone down like summer on the steaming planks. The long bright icicles and winding rings rippled from the murmuring eaves till one by one they fell. As if the spring had now begun, the quilted snow, sun-softened to the core, loosened and shunted with a sudden roar from downward roofs. Not even with day done had ceased the sound of waters, but all night I heard it. In my dreams forgetfully bright, methought I wandered in the April woods, the many a silver-piping sparrow was, by gurgling brooks and spouting solitudes, and stopped and laughed and plucked a petticoat. Winter Evening by Archibald Lampman. Tonight there will be horses springing by to scold through whitened nostrils, and dream the streets that narrow the westward gleam like rows of golden palaces, and high from all crowded chimneys tower and die a thousand aureoles. Down in the west the brimming plains beneath the sunset rest on burning sea of gold. Soon shall fly the glorious vision, and the hour shall feel a mightier master. Soon from height to height, with silence and the sharp unpitying stars, stern creeping frosts, and winds that touch like steel, out of the depth beyond the eastern bars, glittering and still shall come the awful night. Winter Fort by Archibald Lampman. Winds sway daisies, but on every side from the white fields and whispering companies, serene and gently smiling like the eyes of tender children long beatified, the delicate fort-wrapped buttercups that glide like sparks of fire above the wavering grass, and swing and toss with all the years that pass, yet seem so peaceful, so preoccupied. These are the emblems of pure pleasures flown. I say I can think of pleasure without these, even to dream of them is to disown. Coldful on midwinter reveries, lulled with the perfume of old hopes new blown, no longer dreams, but dear realities. With the Night by Archibald Lampman. Our doubts, dull passions and base fears, that harassed and oppressed the day, ye poor remorses and vain tears, that shock this house of clay. All heaven to the western bars is glittering with a darker dawn. Here with the earth, the night, the stars, ye have no place, begone.